up, guys? This is Super Metal 1993, bringing you another CD review from Sunderland, and this is what I'm going to be reviewing for you today. Yeah. This is the 2012 album from the band Dying Fetus, called Reign Supreme. This album is the band's 7th full-length album, and it was released under Relapse Records. Now, for those of you who haven't followed me for a long time and you're new to my channel or whatnot, you may not know, but I am quite a big fan of Dying Fetus. No matter what I've come across of them music-wise, it's always been absolutely killer. It's uncannily good. It's just really enjoyable to listen to for me. And I remember my first exposure was, I think it was when I was just glistening around on YouTube and looking for new stuff, and it was in my recommendation box, the song from the last album called Descending into Depravity. The track was called Your Treachery Will Die With You. So I thought, oh, I'll check it out. So I checked it out, and I was like, good God, that is so well written, and it's not very traditional sounding. It just sounded really unique to me, and I really like that. Just the timings of the vocals and stuff, I loved it. And then I got exposed to the older work from the album Stop at Nothing, which I did pick that up. Some tracks from War of Attrition. I think that was the name of the album. I could be wrong. And obviously their most famous song, their most famous album, as far as I'm aware, is Killing on Adrenaline, and obviously their most famous song, Kill Your Mother, Radio Dog. So that's how I got into them, and when I heard they were bringing out a new album, I was really excited, and I was hoping it would give a little bit more. I just wanted it to be a bit more punishing than the last album. And the last album was punishing, but it could have been a little bit more in your face, more face pounding, whatever. And then they announced the artwork for the album, if I'm not mistaken. First, no, they announced one of the tracks, and I loved it, and I'll get to that in a second. And then they revealed the artwork, which I've taken out of the CD, but actually I'll just quickly show you the insides. Yeah, pretty cool. It was released in this form when I picked it up from HMV, when I pre-ordered it. I thought I was getting the special edition, but I didn't get that, so 6 2/3, you know. But there's the art. It's got like the guy on the throne, and it just looks fucking awesome, if you ask me. If I ever get an opportunity to get the shirt of this album cover, or even I've seen one of the YouTubers that I follow, I'm forgetting his name, but his name's Ed. I can't remember his second name, but I'll link his channel down below so you can check it out. Very good reviews. But he got a hoodie with this on, and I just loved it. So if I ever see it, I'll get it. But stunning artwork. And I was really excited even more, so that's when I went to pre-order it. And I only listened to one track, and a few more tracks. I think one more track got released, and I was like, no, I'm not going to listen. I'm waiting until I get it. And so when it arrived, I was like, great, go over and get it. Came straight home and put it on my iPod. Went out and just was walking along like this. Ooh. It's so much, it's lived up to my expectations. It's so punishing that it's unbelievable. The album runs about 37.5 minutes in length, 37 minutes 32 seconds if I was to be precise with it. It's a 9-track album as well, and those 9 tracks, each one is an individual. They all sound like traditional Dying Fetus, but with more punishment behind it. And I've heard a lot of people say that they've been because they've been touring with deathcore bands, they've sort of gone like a bit more distant from the death metal side, and I was like, bullshit. It's just such a real punishing death metal that, like, it really feels like it follows the line of New School Suffocation. It's still got that heavy meatiness and stuff like that, and that's due to the forgetting his name, the drummer, I think Trent. Give us a second. Forgetting his name off the top of my head. Trey. Trey is a fantastic drummer. He did very well on the last album, and this album is just pretty much turned into one of his best drum performances I've ever seen. It kind of reminds us a bit like what's his name, Paul from Cerebral Ball. Really following and playing like a really good beat over a pretty simple guitar, like on the song that was first released called Subject to a Beating, and on the song, what was it, From Womb to Waist, which is personally my favourite song on the album. And throughout this album you can really grasp that he's really fitted well into Dying Fetus, and they've really took the essence of the three-piece and made it just sound like it's not even a three-piece, if you know what I mean. Another song that I do quite like is the song called Revisionist Past, which was a song that I'd really not paid much attention to, but when I heard it a couple of minutes before doing this review, I was like, damn, that's some really good riffage, and very catchy and very enjoyable, as I couldn't expect to come from Dying Fetus. Guitar and bass, they're pretty much mirrored, which I really come to like, and that's what gives it a techie side. Because what's his name? John, and he can do all the sweeps and stuff, and Sean the bassist can follow that without ease, and they seem to really work well together on no matter what Dying Fetus comes out, and this one is no exception. Very clean tone from the guitars, but very meaty, and it kind of sounds a bit hardcorey in a lot of elements, and that's what probably gave people the deathcore idea. But for me, it's just the tone is very chorishly, and but the guitars themselves and the way they're played is not really deathcore at all. But it kind of makes it sound deathcore, but it isn't really. The bass is very, very punishing, probably one of the brightest sounds I've ever seen, and the most very twangy and very meaty tone. It's not like really low rumbly on it. It's like high and clicky sort of sound, and it could have done with a bit more drive to it, but it did seem to lack some it when I listen to it. It does sound punishing, but it doesn't sound as punishing enough, and for me it's just a little bit. I think there's just something little missing. And finally, vocal wise, you're talking John, one of my favourite vocalists when it comes to the low side of brutal death metal. He's very understandable vocals, but very super low. Probably one of the lowest that I've ever heard when it comes to brutal death metal. But keeping that the pronunciation of every word as clear as that is formidable. And then you got Sean's sort of like a kind of old school death metal sort of vocals. They kind of match really well to John's vocals, and that mix when you have two vocalists can be difficult to like gel together. It can sometimes be, but it really seems to go really well together, and for me that is a very good thing to come across. The songs are good. The mix is good, but still, I think there's something There's still something missing, I think, but I can't put my finger on what it is that's missing from the mix. But still a very good mix overall. Very good songs, very memorable riffs, and something to remember Dying Fetus by. And for those reasons alone, if I was to give this album a rating, I think I would give it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10 is a very good solid mark for these guys, and I'm hoping that they keep on going along this line, and if they bring out another album, I'm sure I will get it, and who knows, in the future I might actually get a shirt of them, or a hoodie, you never know. But I hope the tour over here sometime up in the northeast of England, because I would just love to see them live. But yeah, and I just noticed the back of it. I forgot to show that. That is just wow, just so evil. So yeah, I give this a 7 out of 10. Pick this up if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to the song. The songs. I think Invert The Idols was. I'll put Invert The Idols, Subject to a Beating, From Womb to Waist, and the song Revisionist Past, so you can check them out. And I'll also, if you go down in the description, you can find the link to my Facebook page, because I'm trying to get more fans and I'm posting more and more stuff on there. So make sure you click like on there, and also if you want, click subscribe, because way more reviews are on the way. Seriously, keep your eyes peeled, and I shall see you until the next video. And until then, keep it metal.